Hey, I'm back. We're in the basement. You guys haven't seen the basement in a long time, so I'm gonna give you a quick tour so you can see what it looks like, because for once it's actually clean. The routines are doing really good. I'm downstairs because I'm gonna quilt, and while I'm quilting, I'm just making like something simple, you know, just so I have something to do while I'm chit-chatting. I picked up I think about a dozen questions that you guys have asked between the Facebook post and the YouTube post that I made, and I'm gonna answer them while I'm cutting and fussing around with fabric. That way you get two birds in one stone. I think I mentioned that already. But anyway, let me show you what the basement looks like. So you guys remember my stairs, right? They're still looking fantastic. And over here I have all my fabric, which I showed you already. My quilting station is here, and guess what ended up here? And I'll tell you why. I can't sell it because I asked Edward, I'm gonna blame him, okay? I asked Edward to move it, and one of the glass panel fell off. So one of you had mentioned that I should use that as my sewing cabinet, and guess what? I take suggestions. So here we go. I have my thread and my all my spools in here, and then because it's black and you can't really see, I have to put little stickies. So I have all my feet and accessories in here, all the notions are in here, all my needles, whether they are sewing needles or the machine needles are here, and some pins, and these here. And then in this one I just have random. Here is more random. And then over here is just random stuff too. So it works for me, and it opens in the right direction. I cleaned the machine yesterday. I'm sorry about the noise in the back. I have the boiler running. So I cleaned the whole machine yesterday, and for those of you who have Brother machines like I do, any Brother machine, you can disassemble them, right? You know how to do it. You remove all the screws from the back and you clean it. I'm going to insert a picture of what the machine looked like on the inside. But then when I turned it back on, I had the E1 error message, and it took me 2 hours yesterday to figure out. Thank goodness for the internet. So I'm just giving you a heads up. If you have a Brother machine and you decide to disassemble it from the back to clean it. Okay, so right out of the bat, this area here on the inside, there's a little lever, right? It's either going to the right or to the left. Well, it needs to be to the left like this, and then you put the front back into the machine. You close it. If you have it on the right, then the presser foot shank doesn't function, and you get the E1 message. Just so you know, for those of you who have that kind of machine. Anyway, so more fabric here, and here's the basement right now, and you'll notice there's two new rugs. We got new rugs. So they're really cool, and they're super soft, much better than the ones we had before. The ones I had before were cocoa, and they were impossible to clean. And these are actual fiber, you know, like carpeting. And I can vacuum and I can wash them. They're really nice. They're soft, and they insulate the floor a little bit. So this is what it looks like as of now. And on this side, you've seen my laundry room plenty time. I do have a basket here that needs to be folded. This I need to address at some point. You guys, this is the lost socks bucket. There's about 100 socks in there, all singles. I need to rematch them, and I told Scott if we don't find the match, obviously it's somewhere in the universe, probably where Elvis Presley is, and we're just gonna get rid of them, okay? And this is the few books that I have left, and that's about it. So that's the basement. So what am I going to do today? I tell you what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do some coasters made of fabric. I just got to pick some fabric, and I'm going to answer your questions while I'm doing that. So let me first pick some. Oh, thank goodness the boiler stopped. I don't have to yell. So let me pick some fabric. I don't want to do something too crazy. What color should I make them? We're going to do some brown. Let's pick some beige to go with it. This beige. It's nice when you have a lot of fabric, you know. Well, a lot. This is not a lot. Does this go together? Yeah, that's not bad. And then we're going to do red Too much pattern. I'm going to do some kind of red underneath it. No, you know what, I like this. No, nope. Okay, we're not going to be spending hours on this, alright, Sophia? Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, alright, I'll do that. Okay. Alright, so I have all your questions here, and while I'm answering them, I'm going to cut some stuff. So, for those of you who sew and who are quilters, I'm just going to do little square, whatchamacall them? What did I say they were? Coasters, okay. And they're going to be, let's make them, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make them 4 by 4. So I'm going to cut squares that are 2.5 in those two fabrics, and then this will be the background, and then I'll move it over to do the binding, and I'll do the binding by machine. And I hope you can see me. Okay, the first question was from Sue Ann, and Sue Ann asked, did I ever consider going back to Europe, Scott and I? And I gotta tell you, if conditions were better over there, we probably would. But it's just, you know, it's not a good fit for us right now. It really isn't. It's a mess. The tax system is awful. Even my mom is considering leaving. And you see what's going on with the Yellow Jacket. It's really it's not a good place to be right now. Sorry. I mean, and I love Europe. We plan on vacation. We plan on going back there for vacation. But nah, I'm not considering moving back. This is too big. I should use my little one. Okay, so the answer is no. we thought about it, but it's really not something that you know, it's like one of those things that you think about it, and then after a couple of conversations you just go, nah, not happening. Okay, so I'm cutting, by the way, I'm cutting squares, 2 by 2, 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, so each one I'm gonna make 4 coasters, no, 6 coasters, so I need 12 of those, right, because there's 2 per, I'm just doing 4 by 4s. Alright, the second question was from Debbie. How much time do you spend cleaning now? Is there a big difference from years ago? Yes. I tell you what, I find myself, because I'm doing the Fly Lady, and you know the Fly Lady, it's like, it's so flexible, like it's not etched in stone. You do the best you can, right? I find that since I've really got myself involved with the Fly Lady, I have less to clean when I'm cleaning. Oh, here's the boiler again. And by that I mean, first of all, I decluttered a lot, so there's less shoveling around, right? But I remember I used to spend an entire day cleaning the whole house, and the basement would not get down, because by the time I would start from the top, and by the time I would get to the kitchen, I'd be wiped out before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, I've been cleaning for 6 hours. What kind of a life is that? And I haven't done that in a very long time. Like last night, Scott and I, and you saw the kitchen this morning, right? I showed it to you at the beginning of this video. Last night, Scott and I put the kitchen back together. We worked together. It took like less than 15 minutes. Literally less than 15 minutes. And it's a blessing. It really is, because I really don't feel like I'm a slave to the house anymore. So now there's still areas that need to be, you know, addressed here and there. This morning I did my bathroom a little bit more thoroughly than usual, because I had some, you know, clutter that was hanging around here and there. But it took what, like 20, 30 minutes, not even. So it's amazing how once you start picking up a routine, like pick something. It doesn't matter if it's Clean Mama, Fly Lady, or your own stuff. But if you stick to it, you'll find that over time, you're really going to see a difference. And I think you guys see the difference in my house too. Those of you who have been watching me for a long time, I'm sure you can tell that there's progress being made. So how long do I spend cleaning? I'd say about every day I'll spend between maybe half an hour at best, right? On the weekend, probably a little bit more. But for the most part, nowhere near what I used to spend. So there's progress, and really that's where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be. Because I was spending way too much time. Okay, so that's that. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. And how many did I say I needed? 12, right? Okay, what's the next question? Carmel. Carmel is asking me if I ever get fed up with life and chores. And the answer is yes, because I'm normal. You think it's funny, Edward?
What? No, I'm just in pain.
You're in pain? From what?
I hit my ankle.
How did you hit your ankle?
On the table.
Oh, okay. You alright?
Yeah, don't worry.
I mean, you know, I'm sure, hey, by the way, in the video you saw on the giveaway winners, did you see that I had threads all over? Yeah. That's what happens when you quilt. You carry threads to work, to the supermarket, everywhere. Of course I get fed up. There's times where, there's times I don't even want to do YouTube. I gotta be honest, okay? There's times I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a video. I just pull something out of my hat, and wish for the best. There are days when you just feel blah, you don't want to clean. There are days I don't even want to cook. You get fed up. I'm particularly fed up with myself sometimes when I spend a very long time cleaning an area and 5 days later, sometimes less than that, it's back to exactly where it was. And that's my fault, it's bad habit. The kids are like that too, they're picking up that bad habit from me. And that makes me worry a lot. So yeah, I get fed up. And what do I do about it? You know what? It's like everything else, it passes, right? And then you get motivated again. So don't despair. We all get fed up. There's all of us have times where we don't feel like doing much. And guess what? The stuff will wait for you. Dirty dishes will wait, and the house will wait, and nothing's going to happen if you don't do the dishes when you go to bed. Okay? They'll be there in the morning for you. Now, if they're there next week, now we got a problem. Now we got something else we need to address. It could be depression, it could be hopelessness, it could be a whole bunch of stuff. And some of you have mentioned that you have physical, limitations. And guess what? You do the best you can. There is no competition as to who's going to be most effective. That's not what this is about. I'm so sorry about the boiler. Okay, so I got my light square, my dark square, and guess what? I'm just gonna join one of each, right? Like this, 1/4 inch seam. And I'm just gonna do them all like this, okay? All right, so the next question was from Nicole, and she wanted to know what important lessons I'd like to impart in the boys about life. And I gotta tell you, other than be kind, regardless of who you're talking to, you really need to understand that people don't necessarily have an attitude because of the way you are. Maybe they have an attitude because of something they're going through in life, and you never know what other people are going through. So just be kind, okay? Everybody is real quick to assume a whole bunch of nonsense about other people. Thank goodness the boiler stopped. People are always quick to assume a whole bunch of nonsense about others, and it's also based on their own issues, okay? Like it's like almost like you project your own stuff. Just be kind and be patient. You don't need to have everything now. You can wait. I mean, look at me. I'm waiting years and years and years to have good furniture, and that's okay because my priorities right now is these guys' college, not my sitting comfortably in a pretty sofa. You know what I mean? So be patient. In particular when it comes to big purchases and big projects. I mean, look, I didn't buy my house until I was 40 years old, you know. There's a lot of people who get their first house in the early 20s, you know, and I didn't. I was a renter for a very long time, and I was very patient, and we found the house we wanted. So be kind and be patient. That's it. And hard work pays. There's smart work and then there's hard work, right? But I believe in hard work. I really do. First of all, it's good for character. I don't think you can lose with hard work. See, I did a chain. You see that? We're back to the boiler. Alright, so next I'm pairing them, and I'm just doing a 2 by whatever 4. I'm just gonna put them this way. You see that? Like that, right? Like a checker. So I gotta make sure the seams are matching. Okay, so the next question is from a fish out of water. Would you consider moving out of New Jersey? Well, that's funny you asked that because we were just talking about it the other day. Not now. I don't know. You never know what the future will bring. To be honest, we just had some really good news. You know, they reassessed all the properties in my area, and to our surprise, they evaluated the house higher, and our property tax went down by $1,000. So I'm taking it, no complaint. It's still a lot though. But Scott and I were thinking, if we don't do an addition to the house like we plan on doing, where we would have a bathroom and a bedroom on the first floor, we're gonna come to a point where we're gonna be old, you know, and it's gonna be tough to go up the stairs. Okay, so here's one. You see it? Beautiful point. Okay, so that's one top. So I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, if we wanted to retire, this house, it really is an investment. New Jersey home prices are crazy. Okay, so if we want to retire, maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll sell the house and move somewhere else. I personally would love to move Midwest, Colorado, Nevada, Utah. But then again, I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like. So yeah, we would consider it, but I mean, I keep on saying I want to die in this house. And I may do that. You never know. I don't know. I can't answer that. Ideally, would I prefer to live in another area? Yes. We just happen to have to be in this area for our jobs, in particular for Scott's job. Mine, I could do it anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But he has to stay in the metropolitan area. So, here we go. Thank you. Edward, what do you think? Should Mom and Dad retire somewhere else?
No.
No. Okay. Why?
Because I like this house, and
That doesn't mean we'll sell the house. We could always, you know, give it to you guys.
No, I'll buy my own thing.
You want to buy your own thing?
Yeah.
Okay, better get a job soon then, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I mean, I
Yeah.
would consider it, but for retirement, not while we're still working. I don't think I could do it. I'd love to have a farm. I've mentioned that before. I'd like to have like a small ranch, you know, a few animals to take care of, a big garden and mountains to look at, but I need 4 seasons. I really need 4 seasons. I need cold in the winter, hot in the summer, so I don't know. Okay, so the next question is from who? Happy Days. And man, these points are nice. She's asking about why do I have 2 offices? Well, that's a good question. I tell you what, the office upstairs is very nice, but it's been taken over by Scott since he's working from home, and he's got all of his computers, and he's got like 4 of them upstairs. And then it's not just that. If I was to edit, I would really be in the way. Like the sound from editing would be distracting him. And then he's editing too. A lot of the stuff that, well, he's not editing, but a lot of the stuff that he does for his animations and stuff requires for him to listen to the same sound bite over and over and over. It would drive me nuts. So the office is too small for the 2 of us doing kind of like the same thing. And he likes to listen to podcasts while he's working, and that's something that's really not, I mean, I can listen to podcasts, but it would have to be things that I pick. The podcasts he listens to are just not my type of podcast, so I don't think it's a good fit. And to be honest, most of the time, I do my editing, the machine sounds so good since I've cleaned it, like brand new. Most of the time I cook at the same time that I'm editing, so it allows me to keep an eye on the cooking. And I don't know, I mean, I guess force a habit, right? I enjoy being in the kitchen. It can be chilly sometimes. Like for instance, like this time around I had to put the shrink wrap on the window that's by the counter because it's got a small leak. Not something huge, but enough that after 2 or 3 hours, you already start to feel it. I'm making sure my seams are matching because I don't want to have, yeah. Okay, that's the reason why these 2 offices. Do I miss being upstairs? Not really, to be honest. As much as I love the office and what I did with it, it's suffocatingly hot upstairs. I can't deal with the heat. It's so hot. The second floor is like stuck between, of course, the third and the first floor, and for some reason it really, really keeps the heat. I don't know how the kids sleep at night. It's so hot in there. One more question from Virgie. How do you stay so motivated every day? I'm not that motivated every single day, okay? There are days, like I mentioned in the beginning of the Q&A, I just don't want to do anything. I'm like you know? And there's days where I'm bouncing off the walls and I can get a gazillion things done, and that's when I realize that I'm getting old, because the following day I can't move. I can't do it anymore. So I mean, I guess I see a need and I address it. Well, I shouldn't say that because that would be baloney, because we all know I got a lot of needs. I keep on saying I'm going to address it and I haven't done anything about it yet. But I guess it's part of my personality. I'm very active and I move a lot, I talk a lot, you know that. I just got to do it. You know, this comes to a point where you need to stop thinking and just do. Really, stop doing the thinking part. Just go do it. All right? Really. You'll find it much easier, because if you're going to start agonizing over why did the counter get that way, why is the living room looking this way, all of that is looking in the past. Just you stay in the present, take care of it now, clean it, stop thinking about it, and guess what? Just the before and after would, you know, when you look at the before being all dirty and messy and the after being all clean, that's what keeps you motivated. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people like those shows on TV where they go and they clean out and they organize. There's something very satisfying about a before and an after. It gives you hope, doesn't it? Okay, so for those of you who are still following, I'm doing 4.5 by 4.5, right? And I'm gonna cut a 6.5 by 6.5. Is it? Yes, 6.5 by 6.5 piece of red fabric, and that's just gonna be folded over it, right? And that's how I'm going to bind it. It's just simple stuff. I need the coasters, I don't have any. So I'm still gonna put a piece of batting in there. Okay, so fold it once and fold it twice. Okay, so that's what the edges are gonna look like. And then same thing here. I'm gonna fold it. Hold on. Fold it once and twice. Okay, so I'm gonna do that all around. So I need 6. There are 6.5 by 6.5. So this is what I just did. I cut pieces of batting that I have left over, and they're exactly the same size than those. So I have 6 of them, right? And I don't need to make them oversized because I'm going to put the whole thing together like this. So what I'm gonna do is just place them and center them with the red fabric that's got the back, the right side under. I'm just gonna quilt something real quick on, you know, like maybe like just a big flower. And once that's done, I'll put on the walking foot, and then I'll fold this over this way and this over this way. And I'll just machine stitch right here. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm not even gonna miter the corners, I'm just gonna go straight. And that'll be it. And I'll have little coasters. You know the problem with this one? It's really hot. Okay, I'm doing the binding. Next question was from Claire. Have you ever considered doing a meetup? I kind of sort of have, but it's kind of scary because I'm not socially inadequate. I should close this, right? But I'm kind of socially awkward. But I can be very nice. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many of you are in the area. Comment down below if you're in the area of Northeast New Jersey. And there's a lot of you, so maybe, yeah, well, a lot. I don't need like a, well, who am I kidding? Exactly, it's going to be like a crowd of 1,000. But you know, I mean, I guess I could. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. It just feels weird. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm no star, you know. I mean, it's not like I don't think I got anything special, you know. So it's just not something that I thought about. And somebody had asked if I've ever been recognized. Just one. That's it. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. I'm sorry. You let me know if you really are in the area. Maybe. I'm getting hot just thinking about this. It's the lamp. We're gonna say it's the lamp. Okay. Jeannie had a question about the dogs. Here I need to go very slow because I really want to be exactly on the edges. I don't want to go aside. She wanted the dog and the cat story. So Electra, I got her from Pet Finder. I was looking for a dog and I wanted a pointer actually. I wanted an English pointer. They didn't have any, but they had an English pointer mix. And the story was that she was found, it's a sad story, y'all. She was found in a barn in Pennsylvania in a cardboard box with a total of 6 puppies. 4 of them were dead. And her and her brother made it. Let me go back a little bit. So they put her up for adoption, but when I got her, the lady said she had, because she looked like she didn't have much hair, and the lady said she had a skin condition that's called Demodex, and she says, oh, she's being treated, don't worry about it, it'll be gone in a couple of days, you know, 1 or 2 weeks at worst, right? Well, it turned out she had mange. Okay, so I didn't make a big fuss about it because by the time I realized she had mange through the vet and stuff, you know, fell in love with the dog already. And I got to tell you, she's my champion because she was really sick. Like the first 3 months we had her, she really was sick and she lost most of her hair. I mean, if you don't know what mange is, it's like a skin condition. They lose their hair basically. So we had a lot of appointment to the vet, and I think that she knows that I saved her. So that dog loves me. She really does. And then I felt that she needed a companion. So, and I wanted a dog that would be guaranteed to get along with her. So I picked a beagle. That was mistake number 1. I'm joking, I love the dog, but so I contacted some guy down in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey who was breeding beagles for the purpose of doing rabbit hunting, and he had a litter, and he showed me via the internet pictures of the litter that he had, and I picked a male. And when he was 7 weeks old, which I thought was a little young, but anyway, he said, okay, you can come and pick him up, and we went to pick him up, and the rest is history. And Electra is a loving contact dog. She needs to be taught. She's a wonderful dog. Le Chiffre is mischievous. He gets into trouble. He'll eat anything. If you had a candy in your pocket in your coat 2 weeks ago, he'll smell it and he'll go and he'll start chewing on your pocket, even though there's no candy left in it, okay? So it's very destructive. And that's the reason why I compartmentalize everything in the house, because you can't leave that dog unsupervised. And if you guys have beagles, you know what I'm talking about, okay? You just can't leave them alone. They'll destroy everything. So that's the story about the beagle. But he's a sweetheart. He's a really good dog. I mean, good dog. He's a very affectionate dog, but he's not a contact dog. He doesn't like to be touched too much, which is kind of weird. Like he's always afraid you're going to hit him, which we don't hit him. I don't understand why. But anyway, so that's the story. And then Fiona is also a rescue from Miss Pat's cat in West Orange. And she's a wonderful cat. She really is. So her story was that she belonged to a lady who moved to Florida, and she decided that, well, I don't know if she decided she didn't want the cat or she couldn't have the cat with her. But anyway, she surrendered the cat to Miss Pat, and I got her, she was just a year old. She's my quilting companion, except that today she's not here. I don't know why. She's probably upstairs. Anyway, the first one is done. Well, no, now I gotta go on the other side. Okay, so I've done the binding all around, right? But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the edges here. Same thing with straight stitches, because I need to close this little flap right here. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Sunrose asked me how much downtime do I have. Well, right now, oh, thank goodness. Isn't it annoying that thing? Some people are going to complain, I'm sure. I really don't have a lot of downtime. I mean, right now I do, but most of the time, most every day I come home after 7 o'clock. And I'm early on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Friday, I don't come home until 7. But by the time I come home, I've got stuff to do. Either it's cooking, cleaning, video editing, taking kids to karate, doing some errands or whatever. I've been doing really good with going to bed at 10:30 and reading a little bit. So that was part of my wellness journey for the month of November. You remember, I've continued to do that. And I'm still working on making sure I go to bed at a decent hour, have some time reading. And what I usually do is that I read scripture for about whatever the daily reading is, you know, Old Testament, Psalm, New Testament. So that takes, 15 minutes? And then I'll read for another 15, 30 minutes. So most of the time I'm in bed, and then I'm definitely falling asleep by 11. But I really don't have a lot of downtime. And whatever downtime I have, I spend it quilting. Because that's what I enjoy doing. And of course the boiler starts just when I'm ready to film again. Here is coaster number 1. Okay, so it's a simple little coaster. It's padded. It's enough to absorb any kind of moisture. So I'm going to make 5 because I wasn't paying attention and I messed up on this, so I have to use the ripper. So I don't know if you see what I did here, but I have a stitch here on the edges and I have another one here. So it holds the binding together pretty nicely, and it helps keeping it flat. And they're kind of flexible, but it's enough to absorb. And just put a cup, you know, on it if you have an adult beverage or a coffee cup or, you know, tea or whatever. So that's one done. It actually doesn't look too bad at all. So why am I doing this? 1, because I need to do something with my hands. And 2, because I'm in between quilts right now. And 2, because I'm in between quilts right now. I just finished my sister's quilt. Here's pictures. It's on its way to France. She hasn't seen it yet. She hasn't watched my YouTube, so I'm not worried about it. But it looks really good. I like it. It was Pat Sloan's in the summertime, which was last year, but I finally finished it. So I sent that to her. And I'm waiting for a pattern right now that I ordered online for a quilt that's called Galaxy. And I ordered it 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm probably going to get it sometimes next week. So I wanted to quilt, but I didn't want to start a big project because I have a big project coming up, right? So that's about it. I think I'm going to stop the video here, y'all. I'm going to finish doing these little guys here. I'm happy with them. It actually doesn't look bad at all. I thought this just came up out of my head. This is my me time. This is where I just get lost. You know, and you ask me, how do I stay motivated? How do I do it all? Because I have this. I didn't have this before, and I was missing something that was just for me and that would allow me to recollect and unwind and kind of like step back from the madness in the house and not isolate myself necessarily because the kids are here and I, you know, talk with them while I'm quilting. But I just needed something that would allow me to find myself, be creative, and it's not a selfish thing. It's just that I needed a hobby. I really did. And the scrapbooking, it just creates such a mess. And the task is colossal. I have thousands of pictures, negatives between the two families, thousands. It's not something that I can just start and leave for a while because there's going to be so much involved in it that I think I'm going to wait for retirement to tackle that. So yeah, I really do. So this is allowing me to do something creative. It's mind-numbing, you know. It's not spiritual in any. It's mind-numbing. It's kind of like my serenity moment when I do this, except when I have to do some sim ripper, then I'm cursing it out. But yeah, I really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed my chit chat and the little project. The soup is done upstairs. We're gonna have soup again. Our friend is coming over for dinner.
Probably gonna go to bed early, and then tomorrow I'll start filming again, probably some cleaning videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for your questions. I'm sorry I can't take all of the questions because there's so many of them. You know, but I hope you enjoyed the answers that I gave you for these, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.